Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Ann. Thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that you are having the most amazing day that you could possibly have. Where I am, it's raining a lot. It's been raining all day. It's going to rain all day tomorrow, but that's okay though, because it is still a good day to be above ground, to be alive, to be well and healthy, and rejoice in this day that the Lord has made. And there's a sound of abundance of rain. Where there's rain, there's some type of abundance. There's something good coming. God has promised us, a lot of us, some good things. And I know we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, but definitely trust that it is here. It is here. It is here. It is here. And God, He is so, amazing. He meets all of our needs, right? Where it says God promises to meet our needs, our most needs, according to His riches and glory. But I think sometimes we kind of get caught up in like monetary value or something tangible. It could be money. That's what I used to think when I would read this, or because you hear riches, right? And that was, a while ago. But you hear riches, and and okay, God, well, I need this right here. I need like this money to get this right here. I need this money to get these pair of shoes, Lord. Excuse me. And so we and that was before I studied, what this first meant, right? And we think we need money, or we think we need this or that, but we could just need peace about a situation, that God is our provider. He's just going to work everything out because He's our good Father. And that is just what He does, right? He works it out. And so a lot of times what we think we need and what we actually need are two different things. Or what we want and what we need are two different things. And so He blesses us with so many resources, so many provisions, that make our lives easier than just having money or something tangible in our hands, that we feel like we need it or whatever. And He also gives us resources that we are actually going to use. And God is not going to let us go without. He tells me, if I sent my only Son to save you, won't I surely give you, all the things that you need? Like, it's like, come on, okay? Like, trust me. We have to be careful of our thoughts, because sometimes they can just spiral down into despair instead of, coming up into hope, right? We must keep our hope. In any season, being content in any season. It's easier said than done, yes, but we have to get to a place where we trust God more than our circumstances. And that sometimes it comes with trials and tests and different things like that. But in the end, God shows up in a big way for us. Small way, big way, He just always shows up. And we have to, like I said, just continue to trust Him, because He loves to just like really get it in our hearts, right? That He is trustworthy, because God, He loves to bless us with peace, and especially in our hearts, right? So we can get it there, like we have it, because sometimes the mind, it will play some tricks on you. I was reading something where it was saying that 80% of our thoughts are negative. As I was doing some research on the brain, and I was like, wow, we really have to think on purpose. And that is so true. Joyce Myers talks about that all the time. And so if we have other things going on in our hearts, like I don't know, selfishness, guilt, shame, unbelief, worry, all those things. And it's hard for peace to live there when we have so many other things in our heart. So we really have to be careful of that, like letting those weeds, right, kind of sprout up. But we also know that we have a gardener named Jesus, and He'll come down and He'll chop all those weeds down, right? That what chops that down, like the word, spending time with him, in silence sometimes, just in his beautiful presence, and allowing that presence to allowing that light to shine into those dark places or those crazy thoughts or what's in the heart that needs to come out, right? He'll chop all those weeds down with just his beautiful presence. And we just have to know that he's going to take care of us. We don't have to hold so much on our shoulders all the time. It gets heavy, right? All of that is too heavy for us. He did not mean for us to bear all of those things on our shoulders. When we know God that is directing our path, which he is, even though it may look a little crazy, because I want to go, I thought I should go left and God is telling me to go right, but I'm like, God, that's not it. You know what I mean? But he's God, so we have to, trust him. And just trust him to, get rid of those things that are in our hearts. And like I said, one way to do that is to just sit quietly in his beautiful presence. And when his light shines into us, it expels all that darkness out, that anything we may be harboring, holding on to, worried about, jealousy, envy. I mean, just anything that you could possibly imagine that is not of God. He will help us with that. He knows that we don't have it all together. That's why he sent his perfect son, Jesus Christ, to die for us on the cross. So we have to remember that light or darkness cannot overcome the light. So when we are in the presence of Jesus and we really sit in that, all of those things will shrivel up and they'll die. And we have to trust that is what's going to happen. And yeah, sometimes God sends trials and different things in our lives. And it kind of penetrates our heart a little bit, causes us to worry, but we don't have to, right? Those tests and trials are to grow us, to help us build endurance, to help us build character. I know that I needed that for sure, right? I asked God for so many things, but I didn't have the character. I definitely didn't have the endurance, because if something didn't work out, I'd be like, well, I tried, Lord. I tried it this 1 or 2 times. Lord, it didn't work out. I don't want to do it no more. What else am I going to try? What else can I do? All these other things. And it was just you have to continue to persevere. And that was a lot of what some of the trials and tests that I went through is teaching me, and then to trust God more, and that he's going to show up in a mighty way, right? And so trust, and don't be afraid. Don't fear, I think, is listed at least 365 times in the Bible. So God must be telling us, something, right, about that. And because he is our protector, we know that he's going to deliver us from all of our troubles. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, for our light and momentary afflictions are for a moment. Momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. When we are in the midst of trouble, peace flourishes, weeds die away. And we have to thank God that for what he is doing in us, right? And not worry so much. And I want to look up that verse because I felt like I read it wrong. I was like, let me see, Lord. Let me see. Well, let's see. This is, let me read the New International Version. And I like to read different versions. They just kind of give you a different perspective sometimes. So it's really, really good to read different versions. So it says, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So these little things that we are going through right now, of course, You know, yes, in the moment there may be annoying, or like, why do I have to go through this? What am I? It should be, you know, like, well, okay, what am I? Since I'm going to go through it, no matter what should I be learning from this that I can take to my next season or the next level where God wants to place me? Those are the questions that we should be asking, instead of, Lord, just take it away. Like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, no, Lord, just no. All right. So again, he's growing us. If we are not growing, we're staying stagnant, and then we're deteriorating. We're going backward. So we have to continue. God sometimes has to send challenges into where we can grow. So I think that's important. So, yeah, I mean, we see in the Bible many individuals had to go through trials and tests and different things where they had to get to the promise. The promise is so amazing. God just really wants us to be prepared for it. He doesn't want us to lack anything, you know, when we get there. And because he can see far, way more into the future than we can, then we have to trust that, okay, this is teaching me something. You know, it don't always feel good, but this is teaching me something. And how can I lean in, learn and understand what I need to know in this season, so that when I get to the next season, I see it again, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how God showed up last time. Oh, okay, this is how I can handle this. Oh, okay, I can have peace and patience about that, because I've spent time with God. I spent time in my word. I know that he left me peace. I know that he left me peace when he ascended to heaven. Peace I leave with you. Right? And it just really takes like tapping in, having faith, you know, hearing the word, reading the word, really getting into your spirit. Because when I'm reading certain scriptures and stuff like that, it gets me hype, you know. But then we have to continue to do that. That's why it says we meditate on his law day and night, because the enemy, of course, wants to just come up and snatch the word from you. So, and plant seeds of doubt and, you know, unbelief. And then, you know, next thing you know, you're you know, we're delaying our blessings in a sense. So we have to be careful of, again, our thoughts. We have to think on purpose. Okay, this is going to work out. Okay, this is what God said. And since he cannot lie, his words do not come back void, and he takes care of the birds, and he has good plans for me. And, you know, we just have to, you know, really feed our mind those positive things over the enemy's lies. It does take work. It does take faith. I'm not gonna lie, but it can be done. So I just wanted to leave you with that. Okay, God promises that he's going to take care of us, because we are his children. So lean into him, continue to pray, don't give up. Even when you're frustrated and you're just like, Lord, like, I have prayed, I have done this, I have done that. Don't give up. Don't go get weary in well doing, because then we'll miss your harvest. And I don't want you to miss your harvest. I don't want to miss mine. So I'm going to keep on going, you know, no matter how crazy it gets. And then it's like we're just climbing that mountain, and then we get to the mountaintop, and it's like, oh, okay, everything's beautiful, everything's clear from up here. I know why now. I know why I had to go through those things. So that's all I have for you guys today. I pray that you have an amazing day or night, whatever time you're watching this video. And until next time, y'all, bye.